In this video, we're going to spend a short amount of time relieving some tension from your shoulders, neck, and upper back. It's going to be helpful if you have a blanket, or if you don't have some sort of blanket you can use for this, a towel. A towel will work just fine. And then grab a belt or anything that will substitute as a belt. Okay? So gather that stuff up and let's get started. Okay, with your blanket or your towel, make it look something like this. All right, and once you get it to this position, roll it up. Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up. All right, so once you have your rolled up blanket, or towel, it should look something like this. And then I'm gonna have you recline over it. All right, so go ahead and recline over your blanket. Bottom tips of your shoulder blades is where that blanket should hit you in your upper back. All right, so go ahead and lie down over your blanket. And if you find that once you lie down, it's actually a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too much for you, then all you have to do is unroll your blanket a little bit. So find whatever position or whatever thickness you might need in your blanket, whatever works for you. But then once you are in position, once you find the sweet spot, then step your feet apart, rest your knees on one another, and close your eyes if that's what comes naturally for you. Your elbows about shoulder height, depends how your shoulders feel with this. Just adjust your arms to a position that it does work for the shoulders. Take a few longer, deeper, smoother breaths through your nose. And with your knees together in this position, it's really easy to relax your abdominal region. So relax your abdomen. Only going to be here maybe another minute or so, maybe a little bit less than a minute. But feel free to keep creeping your elbows higher and higher until your arms are more or less overhead. Elbows bent though. About 2 more breaths. Okay, we'll just call it 1. So roll to your side and then sit upright. And get your blanket out of the way and come around to hands and knees. All right, from here, from hands and knees, I'm going to have you come into down dog briefly. So step your hands about outer shoulder width apart, your knees outer hip width apart. Tuck your toes and lift your knees, your hips up and back, and shift into downward facing dog. But keep your knees bent. So knees bent the entire time. Lift your hips up higher and push your hands forward. So stretch your spine, stretch your arms. Keep wiggling your feet away from your hands to help lengthen your spine, actually. 1 more in-breath. And then come down. Sit back on your heels for a brief moment. right, then come to hands and knees again. And now right shoulder down to the floor, but reach your right arm behind the left hand. So right shoulder to the floor. Right shoulder to the floor and right side of your head to the floor. Once you get there, step your left hand out to the left, just so it's not in your face, and then lift your left shoulder up. All right, so now a little bit of a stretch for the upper back in the opposite direction that we just had it in. So breathe into your back ribs. So each in-breath, spread your ribs a little bit wider. All right, then come up to all fours again. And then the second side of that pose. So bring your left shoulder down. Step your right hand out to the right. So really it's a stretch for the upper back, middle upper back, as well as back of shoulder. So feel the upper left side of your back. And then as you breathe, expand into that area. So expand with the in-breaths, but then release with the out-breaths. So just a couple more. You don't need to push or do anything too abruptly or too strongly here. Just let gravity, let time, and your breath, your patience do some of the work for you. Come back to all fours. Stay right here. Now keep your hips pretty much over your knees and step your hands forward a big step. Now bring your forehead down to the floor if you can. If not, you can always place your head on a prop, meaning your folded up blanket, or if you have something else lying around, feel free. But the hips, keep them over your knees. The hands, step them forward like you would for down dog, or stretch the arms overhead like you would for down dog, pardon me. And essentially with the hands and the arms, push and do everything like you would for downward facing dog. All right, and then step the hands back. Sit back on your heels. And if that's just too much to sit on your heels, sit in any position that's comfortable and upright. You could even sit in a chair if you wanted to sit in a chair. But sit upright. Let's grab your belt or whatever you're using as a belt now. And take your hands fairly wide apart. So hands fairly wide apart. And then just reach your arms up and back. And then bring your arms down in front of you. Go ahead and do that a few times on your own. Just a little bit of mobility work for your shoulders. And it's up to you how far you need your hands apart. This is entirely up to you. So a couple more times here. All right, and then once you come back to arms in front, go ahead and shorten up your grip a little bit, or choke up on it. Take your arms up overhead. Bend your left elbow and then reach your right arm down and back. All right. So bend the left elbow, reach your right arm down and back. As you do it, lean your head slightly to your left, very slightly to your left. So outer, let's say the right side of your neck, getting a little bit of stretch. Front of right shoulder, a little bit of stretch. Come back through center, so head up, arms up, and then go to the other side. So bend your right elbow, and then the left hand, reach down and back. Rotate your head a little bit to your left, but then tilt it to the right. So that rotation adds a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of extra spice to the stretch there. But lower your right ear a little bit to the right. Great, come back through center and then release your arms down for a moment, relax. As you do it, lower your chin towards your chest, so stretch the back of your neck. Feel free to move your chin a little bit from side to side. And then from that position, move your right ear in the direction of your right shoulder and a little bit back. And then move your left ear in the direction of your left shoulder. And then chin down towards your chest. So go ahead and keep going with that direction of rotation for your neck. So right ear towards right shoulder, lean your head back, and then left ear towards left shoulder, and then lean your head forward. Go ahead and reverse it, left ear towards left shoulder, and then lean your head back. Right ear towards right shoulder, and then lean your head forward. So just the opposite, reverse the rotation there. Let's do one more. All right, come back through center. Sit upright. We got one more thing we're going to do with the shoulders. Pretty simple stuff here, but grab your hips and pull your elbows back, your shoulders back, lift your chest up. So this could be plenty for some of you guys. If you have a little bit more restriction in the shoulders there, this might be it. Looking for that chest opening that we had when we were reclined over the blanket. Those of you that have a little bit more room to play, interlace your fingers behind your back and then do it that way. So interlace your fingers behind your back, pull your shoulders back and then stretch your arms. Alternatively, you can put the belt in between your hands and do it that way. So choose which setting. If you're a little bit bulkier, the strap in between both the hands can be very helpful. If you are grabbing the strap in between both the hands, palms facing forward. Okay, release your arms. All right, so I know I said one more, but after doing that, I feel like we should do one more movement for the neck, the shoulders, and upper back. So stand up. Stand upright, reach your arms out in front of you. And then cross your right elbow on top of your left elbow, and then bend your elbows. Grab the backs of your shoulders. All right, so this could be a great place for you to stay if this next position just really doesn't work out on your body. Next position would be this one, so where you draw your palms together. All right. Now stand with your feet about hip width apart. Bend your knees a little bit and lower your hips. So move your hips down and back. Now from here, lower your elbows down towards the floor and round just your upper back, or mainly your upper back. So round your spine, feel your upper back stretch. And if you can release your neck, go ahead and release the back of your neck into it. All right, stand up and release your arms. Yeah, let that out. Got one more side. So stretch your arms out. Take your left elbow on top. Grab the backs of your shoulders. Done. Or take this position in your arms, the eagle arms, and let's do the same thing again. Bend your knees, lower your hips, and then round your spine. All right, mainly just rounding the upper back. But you could definitely move your tailbone down, send your hips back, all that business. Release your neck, your jaw. All right, stand up. Release your arms. Okay, hopefully your shoulders feel a little bit more free, your upper back a little bit more mobile, neck a little bit smoother, nicer. So hopefully that worked out. Let me know how it went in the comments down below. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, subscribe, please. Yeah, thanks for taking class. Peace.